Hi, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Happy Hour.
Who's happy?
We both are happy. Right? You're happy. I'm Bill. Or actually, she's Toby. I'm Bill, right? Welcome, Toby.
Most days I'm Toby.
Most days. Crypto Happy Hour today. We're going to have a chill conversation about everything from rate cuts to turtle and dog coins, Michael Saylor. What's wrong with Ethereum? Right? Will it ever come back or is it dead? So we're going to go through all these things today. We want to thank you for being on our show. Just as a reminder, this show is brought to you by our Patreon, patreon.com/unhinged crypto. Come check that out. The link is in the description down below. Obviously, we also want to remind you to subscribe to our channel, Unhinged Crypto, which is kicking butt and taking names, if I don't say so myself, thanks to the star of the show. So you wanna turn on alerts so you know when we're going live, and we're posting daily videos that are rocking along with shorts. So she's got something to say, and you better listen. All right, now let's talk about the loyal football night. Bob, the super fan, sir.
Hey, Bob.
We are not worthy. Bob comments on all of our videos and helps them get on moving through the YouTube world. And Gian is here from Pennsylvania. Welcome. Okay. Now
let's get serious.
Let's do a show. Okay. Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about this idea of suppression. We discussed it.
We've been talking about it for a while.
We have been, but I don't know. Let's review. There's decoupling, right? And discouragement. Watch the stocks go up, do nothing. And then it's like, why is the market down? That's always the perennial, right? Why is the market down? So
historically, September's not the best.
Right. And as you said, it's just like last year, right?
Yeah. I think next year will be different. This year is going to be kind of a repeat, which is good because we had a booming end of the year last year.
Right.
So I expect it to be the same, which is why I'm not so worried about what's going on right now. I think ETH is a little disappointing, and it just doesn't make sense to me,
Right.
But we talked last week about there needs to be more projects on it, so there's more activity.
It needs a hype cycle.
Yeah, I knew you'd come up with the good word for it.
Right. Oh, there's no excitement. Everybody lost their mind when Vitalik was selling because he had a girlfriend or whatever, and everybody got upset, and now Bitcoin is like it. Ethereum versus Bitcoin is getting to a level where you can do a whole separate chart nerd show just about what that relationship looks like. Now we're not going to do that.
Nah.
But no, we're not doing it. We don't do too much chart nerd stuff on this, but I don't know, man. Everyone's real interested because Solana's got the suck bug too. I'm saying that Solana,
for a little bit.
The meme thing is dead. Guys are getting frustrated. And again, you go back to last year.
Not girls.
Well, the girls aren't frustrated because they're listening to you.
Oh, you think so?
Speaking of this, Trisha is in the house.
Hi, Trisha.
Okay. Fuzz Crypto, what's up? Boss 33, right? Somebody made money on Tia. We were talking about Tia.
Was that last week or
that was last week. We pulled up the AI coins, right?
We'll do that again today.
Right. We'll go through some sections.
Yeah.
We're getting better at keeping this chill, and conversational. Screen and bubble mojo, right?
I don't know why it just works.
It works. It works. Okay.
Well, let's go back to the Bitcoin, ETH, and
Solana thing.
Yeah. I mean, I really feel like here's the thing: the prices on ETH are so low that I just feel like it's not going to go away. I mean, to transaction cost, right? And that's what we need, right? So I think they did something with the rate or something that changed it, and that might have caused it to slow. Solana was getting hot because of all the memes, and the memes haven't been as hot as they were before. So I think those are keeping them a little bit suppressed.
Right.
But it's not going to last for long. So I mean, it's almost my birthday.
It's time for the market to like indiscriminately, right?
Ooh. Solana, no. Bitcoin and ETH look good. So surprising. I mean, I just think again, I'm always shocked when there's something. I understand Solana more than I do ETH. ETH is baffling to me why the price isn't that great.
Right.
Because it should, but again, it's on sale. That's how I like to look at it.
Right. Well, it's
so
it's
double down. That's what I'm doing.
It's definitely on sale versus Bitcoin, for sure. Okay. Speaking of Bitcoin, you know, Michael Saylor is just an absolute.
My buddy.
He's just an absolute savage, right? I mean, he's now got 234,000 Bitcoin worth $15 billion.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's getting in touch with his little savage. Bob wants us to look at MASA. Okay, which, you know, for Bob, we got to stop the show and do MASA.
We do.
Yeah, we do. We do. Because Bob is the unhinged crypto OG for sure. I mean, we got people. We love everybody.
No, I love people telling me about coins, especially something I haven't been looking at. So that's always exciting. That's one of my favorite things about this show, and people telling us what they're looking at and what they like. So I can see there's just too many coins.
Okay, so this is
pretty.
This is MASA.
Are you screen sharing?
I am. Good. Okay, so all the way down, and then actually, you know,
can you pull it out? What is that?
That's July.
Oh,
okay. So right, and then I can pull it up for style because I'm just that good. You know, you can pull it up. Spoke too soon.
That's
Masari. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. So there's MASA on 3 months. Okay. You know, the big question is it the bigger the base, the higher in the space? Okay. Or is it like but a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, this went from 9 cents down to 3 cents, and now it's trying to wake up.
Me personally, I would probably I'd want to see it get up to that second red bar at the top.
This bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's still, what do you think? I mean, you're the chart master.
Okay, well,
I mean, it looks like it's close.
This X here, so let me label this. That X means it can continue to correct or push higher, right? Like this is the primary trend, and now it can continue. You know, actually, this is the Lux algo thing that they're making for me. So that little line is consistent with what you were saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm
that they can try to push up there.
Yeah, if it gets somewhere in that box, I'd feel a lot better about it.
Right.
That's
so I guess the good news from what Toby is saying, because I'm the translator of the medium here, is that, you know, if you see people's willingness to pay higher prices, right? If you see, it's not only got to go up, but people have to want it when it's up.
Yeah.
So for Bob, if you want it if people want it when it's up, then it's on, like last year. Yeah. Okay. And Gianni, we're going to do the graph for you. So we're going to, wait a minute, hold on. Gianni says, Bill, I just paid off some of my credit card debt with my Fetch AI gains from the AI report in Patreon. Wow. Gian.
That was awesome.
How much was that report? $14,
well
$27. Yo, come on, visit us in Patreon.
Lovely.
Lovely.
So good.
That is
we've
awesome.
been talking about Fetch for a long time. It's one of my favorites.
Okay. And then Bob was saying my old boss at Token Metrics is up on MASA. So again, the boss here, the new boss, you got to be willing to pay higher. You got to see people willing to pay higher prices.
Well, if he's already in, watch. That's what I think. But before I would jump in, I would want to go up.
See confirmation and a break.
Yeah, just look that it's
all right.
Because it's not that it won't eventually go up, but right now, if I want to hit that trend, I would just wait for a little more up because it could also slump a little. Yeah. So, I mean, it's at that point where it can go either way. So I'm just looking. But if I already had it, I'd probably be really happy that it's finally turning out.
So, yeah, if you don't have it, wait for a breakout. That's the bottom line. Or wait for the old confirmation, which is cool, which is awesome. Now, so again, let's go back to Michael Saylor. He's a savage. Michael Saylor's Bitcoin price target is 13 million. People just can't get enough of that.
Well, I think he said by 2035.
Right.
Yeah. So we got some time there.
We
I don't do super long projections. This a little bit.
Right. You don't write sci-fi novels.
Well, actually, I do.
You do. You wrote a spooky spy novel, right?
And a fantasy novel.
Right on.
Okay, so which is
Michael?
Oh yeah, Michael Saylor.
So I mean, he's got, can guys like him and BlackRock push the market short term? In other words, can he? If you think about these guys in their long term view, 58 or 60,000 in Bitcoin, it's kind of a joke, right? And everybody is so wound up about little micro movements. 5 reasons why the market's lower than yesterday. Are we at a point where we just don't care or shop or talk to me? You're the master of this big picture philosophy. Can you tell me about
Well, that's why I look at okay, so for moving into something, I like to look about 3 months, right? But for holding in the big trend, I pull out to a year because I'm not a day trader. I'm not watching for these micro movements to sell and make a little tiny bit of money. I think those are actually not the market.
I think the kids call them jeans. Jeans with a J.
What that is.
Yeah, me either. If you know what a jean is, please comment. So. Okay, guys who buy and sell in the same 4-hour period.
I mean, that's fine. I just don't have time or the patience because, where I think you really, really make significant gains is that you invest in solid projects that you really believe in and you hold, a long period of time. That's, that's why I don't make meme coins.
Right.
I mean, they're fun. And we'll look at meme coins in a minute.
Right.
They're fun. But I mean, Bitcoin is just so easy. I swear in 5 years, people are going to look back at this moment and be like, what the hell were we thinking? And it's only going to be 5 years. It's going to be crazy in 5 years.
Right.
I don't think maybe 13 million, but it's, so for me, that's like a no-brainer.
It requires no thought.
Yeah, it's like, why even worry about it? Just put it in there and hodl. mean, he's doing it. A lot of people are doing it. That's what you do, you know. And so for me, these little weekly, monthly movements aren't that big because I'm looking, you know, 5 years down the road.
Do you see? I guess this is like a stupid question, but I mean, do you see more big players coming in to buy Bitcoin? You know, there's like Michael Saylor, BlackRock, right? But I mean,
I
is
think
it going to
they're
be
already. I think they're already buying.
they're already doing it?
I think what's going to really push it is as it gets easier for the average person to come in. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people here in Austin, and most of them aren't even in Bitcoin. You know,
Right.
And I mean, I'm actually surprised if I meet someone who's like, "Oh yeah, I invested in crypto." I'm like, "Oh, you know, the average person just doesn't." You know,
Right.
and yeah, I was just reading PayPal is doing a new thing too to make it easy bringing people into Bitcoin and Ethereum. I mean, you already can, but the easier it gets, the more normies or the average people will be able to do it. Then that's when we're really going to see it take off, you know?
Right. I mean, right now the crypto bros are scratching their head. I mean, I have seen more than once people saying that there's nothing new under the sun. No one cares about my crypto content. You know, this is coming from like big players, right? Like
nobody cares about their crypto content.
Yeah, like you know, one influencer was like tweeting at Musk saying, "Hey man, you know, my views are down every week. My advertising paycheck is lower." People are just like, you know, it's just like last year, right? Where you have like total despair. You know, I got caught up in fear last week. I know. The market update guy had a Kramer moment. Whoops. Whoops.
Well, you know, I mean, Bitcoin, that's great. And you know, Michael Saylor, Max, Bitcoin, that. I think that really the big trend isn't more big players getting in. I think that will probably be critical for ETH, right? Like I've heard the ETH ETF is just not doing it. But I think that's because Bitcoin, everybody knows, you know, and that's what the ETF is designed, you know.
Right.
So okay, it'll come. You know, it's just going to be a matter of time, patience, and you know, in a year we'll probably look back and say, oh, "I wish I would have ETH when it was so cheap," you know,
right?
Because that's always what happened. I mean, I
right, but people
you,
need
over the course of you know, just saying like Bitcoin. How many times do you look back and go, God, if I would have got more?
Right. If I bought it at 3K or 10K,
yeah,
or if I bought it at 20K.
And we're going to do the same thing. I mean, this is here to stay. You know?
Right.
So I don't see it crashing. There's some real advantages to Bitcoin that'll keep it alive. You know, we just got the summer programs, you know,
right?
And I'm not that worried about it. You know, so put that aside and then spend your time looking in the other sectors or buckets, as I like to call them, because the tide is low. Tide is low. That's when you find the treasures.
Right. Get them seashells.
Come back. Yeah, and there's things like, you know, you've been talking about Avi for a couple of weeks, right? Avi's still doing really good. And of course, I like a lot of DeFi.
Right. Like multi-coin capital off with Drift, right?
Oh, yeah.
They found like, I don't know, like an all-purpose DeFi thing that's also cross-chain. You know, multi-coin capital essentially they were the original guys in Solana at 5 cents, right? I think they funded Solana. So obviously, right? They actually run all the way up, all the way down, right? I'm not sure what that's about that, but that's hot. That's very hot. Let's put it that way.
It's here to stay as well.
Right.
I mean, there's still a lot of interesting projects being built on it. I think it just went down just because it was hot for memes, and then you know when people didn't really play in the meme market anymore.
People bought it for the wrong reason. People got into it for the wrong reason, you know, and that I look, that happened with internet stocks a long time ago. Right?
Yes. That's the whole thing that I love about layer ones, because the way I look at layer ones, it's like if you could have bought, into the internet, because it was free, but if you could have, we didn't even know. You just have to
Right.
go
That's a good
back in
point.
time.
You had to buy Cisco or AOL or Dell or
Oh, yeah.
some clunky device company, not the actual infrastructure itself.
Yeah, and we didn't even know what the internet was going to end up being,
Right.
And so it's a great opportunity. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I think I
No.
actually,
I like the thing about the tech stocks and the infrastructure because
everything is being built on the layer ones, and this is where we're going with Web3 and all this other stuff. And so don't look at today. Think about where things are headed, and that's one of the issues that I have, like with the day trade. And I think people forget, or maybe there's a lot of people who got into crypto because they heard in the past few years it's a way that you can make a bunch of money, right, quickly. And so that causes more volatility, which isn't bad, because volatility is where profits are made, right? But overall, you should be investing in what you like, in these projects. And I mean, I'm a hustler. I want to see things grow,
right.
and like you said, just like the early days of internet. It's so exciting. I think ETH is going to come back. It just keeps coming to me. It's not going to be for very long.
Okay.
But I mean, everything's popping.
Right. Well, we're already starting to see it. Like Arrow, remember that was like DeFi. Right, like 2 weeks ago.
Well, no, even
right, like Arrow was given for dead. Arrow woke up. Chainlink woke up.
Yes.
Right, for a couple of days. Phantom went off. By the way, the original call, Phantom, get out of Toncoin into Phantom.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
that was good. Phantom just keeps on moving. That's DeFi.
Just look at DeFi.
Yeah, let's look at DeFi.
Let's see how things are going.
Okay, so let's check out DeFi. Okay, let's check out DeFi screen share here. Banter bubbles.
Not
Okay.
a sponsor. I use 2 different ones.
All right.
But I like Banter because I like how you can sort it. So I think that's DeFi.
Yeah, this is DeFi.
Okay.
Okay. So there's the multi-coin capital play.
Right. You want to pull up that chart? Is this? Yeah, this is for the month. Okay, good.
Right. CoinGecko and
I mean, there's a way to look at the chart, but they make it really small. Oh, look how pretty.
Right. Yeah.
What is that?
That's
3 months. Oh, it's
right. So yeah, this thing is a monster.
When was the last dip?
That was September 6th.
Oh, so just a few days ago.
Yeah, I mean that's
it's really taken off.
That's when multi-coin capital came out with.
Okay.
Right, and this is like a trading app, right? Okay. So it basically work out, but it basically lets you, trade. There's Maple over here. You've talked about this before.
Favorite. Yeah, that went way down, but
but then there's stuff in the corner, like there's Cake, GMX, Jupiter, like this Solana beat JTO, destroyed, right? Arrow, right? That's the DEX on Base. Joe is on Avalanche, right? We've looked at Curve. You weren't a big fan of UIDX, right? There's Chainlink up 4%.
Yeah, that's good.
Right. Okay. And then there's also AI that we were looking at that, mostly unhinged crypto printed for people. There's Ocean,
Yeah,
right?
a lot of these,
All over this.
a lot of these I've been looking at.
Right.
Fetch, all of the big ones.
Palm, right? A lot of people.
This is why I've been saying for over a month, like AI.
Right. But 0x0 is still down. That we talked about that.
I think PAL is a good one to come back. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the chart on PAL.
It's down 14%.
Okay. So that's a daily chart of PAL.
Can you give me the 3-month?
Okay. So that's back to May. Right.
Yes, way
down.
It's trying to come back up. That'd be one that again I would look for it to go up to there. That red
here.
Yeah, but a little above that for that one.
Okay. So what this is called the previous fourth. So basically, this was the final puke. This was the point where the despair ended.
Yeah.
So your spidey sense is picking up on something from theory, which says, if they take out the point where the despair started, that's the full-on reversal. But it's actually kind of scary if you look at distance to resistance. Just to get back to that, just to get back there, right? That's a 40. It's a 40% rally just to get back to the breakout level, right? To tell you how much room these things have. Okay, coming off screen share. All right, so there's a lot in AI. Recently, Mike Novogratz from Galaxy Digital, he published something which I retweeted and can probably find, where he discussed AI and blockchain, right? He said, I didn't realize how big my data centers were until a year ago. Okay. Sitting on power contracts that are really valuable, AI agents, right? Using these agents going to actually spend your money. So AI may shop for you, right? Although, because you like to shop both crypto and possibly otherwise.
I shop.
Right?
I have an issue
with shopping,
but I'm still in denial.
Right. Well,
because
shopping does a lot. It improves your wardrobe. It definitely improves your wardrobe. And then Mike is also talking about AI as the final authenticator of who owns what.
Oh,
so can
that
you
sense.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that means
right. Yeah. No. Not a decentralized one.
No.
Right. At all. And that theme is totally okay. Trisha said, "Oh my God, I bought Maple at a higher price. We will get that thing back to her average at 30." GF is here looking at Shuffle.
Oh,
okay.
For me.
Wants to take a look at Lux Algo. We can bring up Shuffle. Let me just get the symbol SHFL. Okay. All right, let's get Shuffle going here. SHFL. Okay, probably better to get it with Dex tools. I got to ask you about this frog coin. Okay, so this looks like a small cap coin.
Okay.
Coming up.
That was a pretty chart. Oh, that
okay,
looks good.
Let's share the screen.
Okay.
Okay, there's Shuffle. Okay.
What is that?
That's Shuffle.
When did it come out?
It looks like it came out March.
Oh, okay.
So it came out at the top,
Mm-hmm.
did this rounding bottom thing going on here,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Does that look like you're the base?
It could. It could. This makes it really easy to like get to the website.
It's not available in
Our region.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Right. Well,
Oh, it's gaming.
It's gaming.
Oh, okay. Is it? Or is it
Let's check their Twitter.
Looks like a
Shuffle is the future of crypto betting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll give them a follow. All right. We talk about gaming a lot. You talk about gaming as like onboarding process. Are we still in next year mode on gaming?
I think for the, when we really see it move. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like fighting for
Position,
right? I mean, it's coming. It's coming big time, but it's still in its infancy. So we got to see, like, they're like newborn babies, all these things, right? And
right.
so I'm waiting to see who crawls first.
Okay. See who gets out of the gate.
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds like
you don't want to be just laying there, I want them to be able to move on their own and really gain some traction. But I think that's great for onboarding. Absolutely.
So you think doing a buy breakout strategy is better than trying to, like the tide is out, I'm going to try to pick up some C-bills, or it's buy breakouts, or is it both? Buy breakouts?
What that mean?
Oh, buy breakouts. That means wait till it goes up and it proves itself.
A little bit. It depends on the project.
Okay.
Like this a lot of the gaming ones are newer, and ones that have been around really haven't gained a lot of traction yet. So I'm just waiting to see who. I mean, there's a few that I'm interested in, but not putting a ton in it yet.
Okay. Right.
Just because I feel like it's in its infancy.
Okay.
Right. But buy breakouts for everything else, and then again, love the project. If if you're into this betting thing and you're using it, and you think it's awesome, then
go with that.
You should. I mean, I like to invest with my heart.
Right.
It's a very, of course. I gotta love the project. I gotta, like the people who are involved in what they're doing. So that should be for me. That's the first thing for me.
Okay. All right. Let's go to.
Okay. Any other charts we want to look at?
Yeah. Let's see what else is in here. Sound is a bit patchy. Okay. Okay, we just turned up the mic. Can you guys hear us now? Let us know if we're sounding good. Turned up the gain and the volume. Okay.
So let's do the SHIB. Yeah.
Right. Someone's asking about SHIB and LUNC. Okay. Not familiar with LUNC.
Me neither. I'm going to pull some cards on it.
Okay. Why don't you just pull one card on SHIB?
No, I'm going to do both.
Okay, so let's do both.
You can't tell me what to do. Oh, they're both good cards.
Okay.
SHIB a little bit better. But I'm curious what LUNC is.
Right. I'm not sure if LUNC is something left over from the last cycle. So that's SHIB, right? It's like, down and not going anywhere. So understandably, people.
How long is that?
This is back to April.
Okay.
Right. So I can pull it up here.
No, that's fine. I can see it. But...
Okay. Then there's LUNC. Okay. Timber Classic. So that's what something blew up last cycle, and this is what they did to sort of re-release it. Right.
And that, yeah, I mean, sometimes that works. I'm always leery of re-releases. Are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
That's
because
why
I've seen so many
so
that
many
just,
blow up.
it might be a great project, but yeah, I haven't, it almost is like a sign that they're really struggling, that they have to redo it,
Got it.
I don't know.
All right. They said sound is better. So I'm going to give us even more gain. Right. All right. Sound is much better. Appreciate Trisha. Trisha is into sand and mana. Okay.
Oh,
So
Mana
this,
was something that I was into, gosh, like February, I think.
right. All right. Well, let's look at it.
Yeah, let's look at it.
So let's look at it on
Mana and what was the other one?
sand.
Sand.
So basically, these were the big metaverse plays from the last cycle. I mean, it was the metaverse craze was unbelievable. And the question is, so this is mana, right? Over the last year, and over the last 3 months. I mean, this stuff has done nothing. Right?
Yeah, I think that's
right.
I mean, even after
Sandbox has pivoted towards gaming.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what this is. I feel like showing these two charts is really good, because I think this is what most of the gaming stuff looks like, So for me, if I believe in the project, and I'm really not focusing a lot on gaming metaverse, because I think, again, it's just in its infancy, but it's good. It's good to watch.
Right.
I mean, let's see. I was looking at.
No, not Mana.
I mean, Mana.
Mana. This is Sandbox.
Oh, that's Sandbox. Yeah, I think March or April. So that was at the top.
Right. So, this thing's lost half of its value. Essentially, it's gone all the way back down to where it was last year.
And that's what I'm seeing a lot in these coins, in gaming, and it's just
it's not there yet.
Yeah, they're in their infancy. So at the high, so they learn to blow a bubble, but nobody's crawling yet,
Right. So I mean, is it possible to say that capital may be better used elsewhere, like put capital into layer ones, for example, and then jump back into that stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I think the reason people are asking the question is because they're trapped, and this is not just sand and mana. I mean, people are trapped everywhere.
Well, I think it depends on your strategy, and this is why we talk about, flirting, dating, marrying.
Right.
This is a cleaner version.
Right.
Yeah. And so, in general, I think gaming and metaverse is good for flirting. Like maybe that's where you want to do something short term. Something comes out. I mean, they probably will rise some when the rest of the market rises,
Right.
But then you got to decide, do you love the project so much you want to move into dating, or is it just a flirt and it goes up and you get rid of it? That's always a decision that you have to make.
When I listen to you, I think, there's a lot of stuff from the last cycle. I don't know if it's not a bad boyfriend, but it's kind of like a boyfriend, right? And, if you dated it and it didn't work out, move on.
Yeah.
In other words.
So give me an example of a coin that you think of when you're talking like
Cardano. Cardano is a classic case, right? Cardano was a monster last cycle, went from 3 cents to $3, something like that. Right. Everyone's waiting for stuff like that to come back. Right. I know the XRP people are waiting for.
I think XRP has some legs.
You think XRP's got legs?
Cardano is.
Right. I mean,
I can't say like 10 years from now, we'll be all happy with it. It just depends. But you're right. If again, depends on what your overall goal is. Depends
people
on
don't,
how much you have.
Nobody's in Cardano. Everyone says they're in it for the long term. Maybe Bitcoin, but nobody's going to hold Cardano for 2 years, right? People are going to lose their mind. I mean, a lot of people dumped XRP for Solana when Solana was at the top. They got so frustrated, they dumped it, right? So, I mean, you know, as I listen to you, like, when you talk about Cardano, I mean, you could apply this to so many projects.
I think you
right?
can.
Like all this stuff from the last cycle.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know are you still in Polkadot?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Polkadot is one of these things that we think will come back, right? Like Polkadot XRP, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm assuming Link too with cross chain. Am I right?
Yeah. So the way that I would do it, right, is okay. So right now we're at a low, right? So when the tide is out, that's when I'm looking for new things that are performing. But let's just think. So I go by sectors, right? So I would look at all the AI, and if something new comes that I really like better, then you dump the old boyfriend, you know.
Okay.
But if there's nothing you like better, then maybe you want to hold because, you know, I feel like, you know, the overall. So really, when I want to look at getting rid of bad boyfriends, the best time to do that is when the market is going up.
Okay.
I don't like to get rid of things when everything is down. I like to look because, you know, the rising tide lifts all boats, right? And so if you've got this one and it's just not doing as well as others, but it's gone up, then maybe.
So it's like the first leg up. It's almost like you're betting on a horse after it gets out of the gate. You know, whatever starts running, you're going to be dumping stuff that's not working and moving into stuff. In other words, believe it or not, a certain level of FOMO could be healthy if you're buying strong projects. But let's hope that that's correct, right? Did I translate that right, or what do you think?
I guess. I mean, you have all the particular language. I have metaphors and woo. That's why we're a good team.
That's right.
I don't know why. It's just how I feel about things.
All right. Well, I mean, I think if you're stuck in a project, and you don't have a better idea, I think the boss is telling you, you know, just give it a chance. But I mean, I definitely want to get into XRP because I know that, you know,
I'm expecting a rally.
Everybody, like the history of XRP goes back to say BitBoy, every YouTube influencer, right? So this is XRP on a daily chart. So as you can see, it hasn't really gone anywhere in some time, right? There was a lot of despair at 40 cents.
When was that?
That was July 4th.
Oh.
Okay. And XRP has just kind of done this wild yo-yo thing.
Okay, so show me January, December.
Okay, January, December is over here.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that was the big despairing.
Right, so everybody gave up here because Solana was already off to the races and XRP did move. Right, so if you try to, if we get fancy here, we try to put Solana on top of this. See, Solana exploded from, you know, Solana exploded from like $20 to $120, right? I don't think that worked out. Let's try it one more time.
Well, that might be a really good thing to do.
Right. So, okay. So here's Solana launching itself. Solana was actually going up and XRP was going down.
Yeah.
Right. So XRP didn't participate until late, and then XRP failed. Right. You see this?
Yeah.
You know, when Solana corrected, XRP just got new. That was April.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, let's talk about XRP. I mean, one of the things that people love to do with XRP is talk about upside price targets. Right?
Okay, well, you're better at that.
I'm better at that. All right, so let's try this.
It's one of those. So you could do if you're frustrated,
Okay.
right? You could wait and see when everything rallies. If it comes up, you know, you can make a decision then. I don't think it's completely out of the picture. I just think it's going to take a while. You know, I'm thinking maybe next spring. You know, it's interesting to compare charts, but what would be more helpful, I think, in decisions, you know,
Right.
like when things start to go up, I would compare charts that were in the same bucket. That way you can find the bad boyfriends, see which ones are underperforming.
Okay.
You know, like whatever you have in AI, compare all of your AI. Whatever you have in real world assets, compare those. You know,
Right.
whatever you have in DeFi, compare those. You know, I think that's a lot more helpful because with the decoupling,
Right.
it's less useful to see everything together. You know, you can't compare XRP with Bitcoin. They're not even going to follow the same pattern at all. But within each sector, you should be able to see patterns coming. That to me makes a lot more sense.
Right. With XRP, like it's tough to figure out what to compare XRP to. I would say it's like XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and maybe the privacy coins like just like Zcash and Monero.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That makes a lot more
XRP is
sense.
fast money.
Yeah.
XRP may also run stable coins. Like
Mhm.
XRP has its own layer one called XRP Ledger. Right. I don't know. I just think there's so many retail investors trapped in XRP. If that actually went up, like if XRP,
You just sell it.
well, I'm asking you. I mean, if XRP
I
went
think
up,
that's what they did earlier. The frustration led to the rise and like,
I'm done. Are those people coming back? Are hodlers going to be vindicated? I mean, these are all the big questions about.
big questions. I mean, I see a rally.
You think the rest of the market moves and then he takes. I'm sorry. XRP is a second order phenomenon.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
I don't know
else.
if people will come back or what, but I mean, for me, it doesn't feel like XRP is totally out of the picture. That's what I think you asked me about it a week or so ago, and I'm like, I'm watching. That's
okay. So Aiken is asking. So Aiken has a very specific question. He's like, what type of energy have you felt from Bitcoin in March? Right. He's Aiken. He's calling what's going on right now with accumulation zone, which is what you talked about.
no idea what that means.
Shopping.
Oh, okay.
Shopping.
Okay.
Accumulation is shopping. And I think he was looking for some idea about Bitcoin price
About March.
in March. Like, yeah.
Coming March.
Right, coming March. Right. So the election is over, obviously.
So I'm super excited to see what is going to happen because next year I feel like it's going to be different, right? So
how so?
I don't.
Okay,
I'm
right.
waiting till
Got
January
it.
to see the trend that moves. But until the end of the year, it's gonna follow last year. So I would expect March is that is so the way energy works, like in reading energy, the closer you are in time, the easier it is to feel. The further away,
Right.
the more challenging. So 3 months is a lot easier for me than 6 months. So I can't say exactly Bitcoin, but I think overall it's going to be up over where it is now. So that's
Right.
hard. But yeah, I'll
But I mean,
relook at the year. Sorry, I'll relook at the year come January because I really feel like things are going to move differently next year. Some because we don't have ETF, we don't have it's going to maybe stabilize a little bit more because there was a lot of volatility because of the halving and the ETF, and there was a lot of pushing in the market. And I think late last year, in the beginning of the year, we also had the AI push, which was really,
Right.
And those aren't happening this year. So that's why I'm waiting to January to see what it feels like.
Right. There could be some breakthrough.
But by March, we'll still be above where we are now in Bitcoin.
Okay.
It's not going to.
All right. Mams is asking, what do you think about ALPH?
Oh, I think I did that a while back. Let me see.
ALPH. So we'll pull it up here.
I'm trying to remember. I looked at that a long time ago, and I haven't looked in a while. Do you know what it is?
We can check it out here.
Oh, okay.
Kind of hard to figure out exactly what it is.
Okay. Well, let's go look at the chart.
Yeah. So here's 3 months. Okay. So yeah, that's over your 1 year.
And the height was again back in March, right?
Right. So the high was $4. The July low was $1, and it's currently sitting at $1.69.
It got close to its low point from before, but not super low.
Right. That was the takeoff
It
point in January.
It looks like a little bit of bounce, maybe a cup and handle there.
Right. Or head and shoulders bottom.
Okay.
Somebody's
Head and shoulders at my bottom.
Somebody's been reading chart videos. Somebody's been watching chart videos, I think.
I don't know the difference between a head and shoulders bottom and a.
It's a cup and handle. It's another form of cup and handle.
Oh, okay.
It's another attempt for bulls to take power back.
Yeah, that looks really interesting. I'd like to look more about what the project is, but that looks promising to me. What do you think? Do you want to put it in your special graph thing?
Yeah, we can look Lux Algo. We can look Lux Algo. Okay, ALPH. Okay, well, we can tell I've looked at this before. See this little red bar? That's the trend line.
Mm-hmm.
So, the last time this broke a trend line, it went up.
Yeah.
So
it looks like it's going to go.
This looks like it's winding up to do something. My guess would be go up.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to go up to me too.
Okay. So yeah, that's definitely a positive read for anybody who's out there with a left. If we go back to Bob liking the team, right? Precision intuition. Love that.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Write that down. I'm
Precision intuition. Man's asking a political question. Okay. Right. You're not a fan. Okay. So I'll take a shot at this briefly. After the debate, I think capital markets are assuming the election is decided. Right. So capital markets are not going to have a reaction to the election unless something dramatic changes, which is good for Bitcoin because then the focus turns back to the Fed. Which we didn't talk about yet. We haven't talked about that.
And the thing is, if you look at the charts, no matter who's elected, Bitcoin always does better after an election, right. No matter who is elected. So, and again, my problem with looking at American politics, and this is an international market. So it's one of the things I like about it. It's not so volatile for political events and the dollar and all the things. That's why I like crypto.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I think the answer is politics may be politics may be an afterthought. All right, well, we didn't do the Fed, right? We didn't do the Fed. So
now everybody's saying,
I know now everyone's a genius, right? Now everybody's an economist now. So let me tell you what the finance nerds are saying. So first, the finance nerd says the Fed was going to do 25 basis points, just a small cut.
Mhm.
Then a
small
rumor,
raise. You mean.
no, small cut.
Small cut.
So,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
small.
Mhm.
Okay, and then there was a rumor in the market that created FOMO last week that they were going to do a larger cut, like 50. And there's a U.S. senator who's been a big crypto critic who is wanting an even bigger cut because people are realizing that people are hurting, housing is not moving. Okay, so now BlackRock came out today,
And they think it's
a bigger cut, right? Goldman smaller,
well, they
BlackRock
they
bigger.
might know things that we don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
you
I
think- you
predicted.
think-
So over the past year, what was the total raise?
Okay, since they started tightening, they basically went from 0 to 5%. So 5 basis points.
500. Okay.
Right. They did 500 basis points. Now we're arguing it's going to be a
So 50,
0.25 cut.
yeah.
or
So
0.5
50 is only 10%. That's still because they're not going to do anything big because there's some fear that things are getting better a little bit, in the economy, and they just don't want to blow it all up. But overall,
everybody.
the housing is a problem. I mean, we feel it especially in Austin, right? But it's not just here. I mean, one of the biggest impacts on that, there's a lot, but the interest rate has really,
Right. Well, no, the interest rates and everything. That guy,
Mhm.
the other day, who was just like, I had to take a second job because mortgages just got ripped up.
Yeah. So, yeah. So it makes sense that they do something,
then, of
but
course,
they
there's-
like to do slow and gradual.
Right, and because the markets love
So-
drama, right? Well, if it does 50 basis points, they go back and look. Most of the time when the Fed over tightens and as soon as they cut because they've gone too far and there's about to be a crisis. Everyone's looking for the next crisis,
Mhm.
right? Now I have my view. My view is just that the dollar has to go down because that's the only way you solve a massive debt problem. It's an organic thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for an implosion, either geopolitical,
Well, they'll probably
Or
print
banks.
some more money too. So
print more money.
yeah, that'll make the dollar go down, and interest rates are going to cut, and that's why I think we're probably going to see a big bounce in the crypto market.
That's what we're going to rock and roll. All right.
My birthday, which
Starting
is
with your birthday, which is
1 week away.
1 week away from liftoff. So the call is for rock and roll on the upside on Kobe's
So we'll
birthday.
see. Yeah, and we'll be here, right? So we'll see.
Right, we will be.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we got to leave it there because
Okay.
market update is following this.
That's right. You got more to do.
Right. I got to look. So as a reminder, subscribe to the channel. Right. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live, and don't forget to check the link down below. Right. We were cool today. We didn't blast you guys with the Patreon, but patreon.com/unhinged crypto.
And a lot of our Patreon people are here.
Right.
They'll
Our
be
Patreon
watching
people are
this.
here. And our final word,
Oh, yeah.
we thank our Patreon members.
Yes.
Thank you.
Lots of love.
Lots
Thank
of
you.
We'll see you guys next time.